Yan. Hello. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Hello. Good evening, AWS User Group Philippines. Yan. So we have around 30 attendees right now. And thank you for taking your time tonight and joining us here in our sixth online meetup for the year 2021. Yan. So our theme, let me share the slides for this evening. Share. Presenting. Let me share my screen there. Yan. Kita nyo na yung screen ko? Okay naman po. Yan. Okay. Thanks for Rafi for the thumbs up. So good evening again. Welcome to our meetup for this evening. And we have this theme for this month of June, migration and deployment stories. And so welcome. Nag-post pa kami ng engaged question sa Facebook group po natin, and we ask if you want to share something like an unforgettable experience when it comes in using the AWS, no? And some of us shared their stories. Maybe I can read some of the stories that was shared there in the comment section. Kay Shirley Jambi, my unforgettable experience was when we scaled our EC2 instance fleet before a major sale. Yan. Then I upgraded our RDS database to a larger size. As I upgrade the database, we ran out of IP addresses in the private sub. Wow, you can imagine, Mayor, when our production database had an unrecoverable error hours before a big sale. Wow. grabe yun na. Nakakapanik. And we have Kyle Escocia. Yan, we have time to read kasi unti lang na-comment, but we appreciate those sa nag-share. So my unforgettable experience, positive and negative, was when I did a mini workshop regarding data lakes to our service delivery team. Someone accidentally spun up an RA316XL Redshift cluster. Yan, in the US region, total charges when noticed, it was around 2.4K US dollars. Yan. Was a total nightmare. Ang lamig ng room pero pinagpawisan ako. Yeah, grabe naman. Salary deduction kaya nangyari din. Let's see kung ano nangyari. They were submitted a ticket to AWS support and we were able to talk it out, and they did a partial refund. They were able to cut it down to 200 US dollars. Yan, grabe, no? Ang daming mga stories from technical to billing. And thank you for sharing. May mga nag-comment pa like Sir Rafi and si Alvin. Yep. Yan. Thank you for engaging with us. And yan. And before we start, I would like to give some few announcements. We would like to call, if you are interested, you have the passion, you have the heart, you have the time to be a community leader or a volunteer or a speaker for our meetup. Yan, we can, if you just reach out to us, we are in need of volunteers. Yan, just simple lang. If we have Canvas skills, yung mga ganyan, for creating the posters. You're familiar with how to manage Facebook groups, yung mga ganyan details, and you have the passion to share your knowledge, like our speakers for this evening, you can be one of our speakers. Okay, just reach out to us for that. And we'd like to acknowledge the newly AWS certified of our members of our community. We have, yan, for the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. Oops. We have a number. Ang dami, no? We have Randy Arguelles. Kung dito po kayo ngayon, please do a thumbs up. We would like to acknowledge you. We have Far Lingad, Real Mame, Kevin J. Casala, John Lester Bamba, and Carlston Cobar. Yan, for the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner. Dito ba kayo? Maybe you can just give a hi o yan sa ating chat box. And for SysOps, we have Jose Manuelito Eden and Jared Guillermo. Yan. So, clap our hands. I think si Jared, if I'm not mistaken, late to, medyo na-share niya late pa siya, April pa ata siya pumasa, but he shared it late, but we want to acknowledge yun. Siyempre, hindi naman ganun kadali ang mga AWS exams. And we have for developer, we also have the same group of people, Jose Manuelito Eden and Jared Guillermo. Yan, congratulations po sa inyo. And yan, for the professional level, we have James Mark Lansangan. Yan, kung andito ka, James Mark, we'd like to congratulate you. And kung kilala niyo siya, we would like to just tell him we acknowledged him here. And we have for security specialty, Romeo Nerida. Yan. So congratulations sa ating newly passed members ng AWS User Group Philippines. And if you're interested to pass, yan, we have an ongoing session. I think yung June patapos na for the cloud practitioner. And this coming July, we want to invite you. Please register for the free July AWS Solutions Architect Associate Tutor Group. Yan. So if you are interested, we are just requiring some few details. Like first, you need to attend CCP or must be a certified cloud practitioner to attend the SAA. Newbies are welcome as well. And also, this online, you need to have your own laptop. And Tutor period, of course, emphasize dyan yung free. Okay, so there are some conditions that you need to agree to, like you want to share experience, you need to attend 3 CCP sessions every week, or you need to attend 4 SAA sessions every week. Yan. For the July session, it's July 4, 11, 18, and 25, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah, so you want to take note. So if you want to know more about this free offering from the community, please visit our Facebook group. Andun po sa announcement yung details ng for this free tutor. And then next, of course, yan. Siyempre may tutor. We are also offering a free AWS certification from associate to professional to specialty. Yan, maraming interesado. If you are one of those that are interested, you just need to submit your official practice exam the passing with a score of 80% and above. And please share. And how would your company or the community benefit from your certification sponsorship? So dalawa na po yung requirements yan. Yung practice exam na 80% pataas and just a small essay or just a paragraph on how would your company or the community benefit from your certification sponsorship. Yan. And the deadline will be is on September 15, 2021. Okay, just if you have any question, just reach out to us, or you can subscribe to the YouTube channel, Sir Rafi, Young CTO. Search nyo na po sa YouTube, Young CTO, and subscribe na rin po and hit the notification bell dun para updated po kayo sa mga activities. Okay. And then we have, of course, the AWS User Group Philippines. We have the Store Merc. Kung nahirapan po kayo kumuha ng mga swags or merchandise from AWS, the community is offering this online store, store.awsug.ph, and it's for purchase, okay? So if you're interested, just visit the site, and ito yung mga samples ng mga popular items yan. May polo shirt, jackets, t-shirt, pillow, yan, and cap and a mug, no? So maraming items, maraming products yan. So just browse dun sa mga selections. And of course, yan, we would like to invite you if you are interested in writing AWS blogs for the community. We would like to please reach out to us, and may mga entries na po sa AWS community blog. Yan. So if you have things to share, please reach out to us so that nalagay natin sa blog and ma-promote. Okay, so again, good evening. We are now at around almost 40, no, for this evening. So continue to invite, especially yung mga friends nyo or mga colleagues nyo if they're interested with AWS. And again, we have an awesome list of speakers for this evening. And I will be introducing them one by one and be sharing technical and personal experiences when it comes to migration and deployment in AWS. Yan. So let's call on our first speaker. Are you ready? Yan. So I'll call on our first speaker for this evening. So our first speaker has been working as a DevOps consultant for an Australian company, providing infrastructure and automation solutions that is built around AWS services and utilizing some of the best open source tools that makes our work more enjoyable. He loves to learn new things and apply them as necessary. A father of two, and I have been in the comfort of his home for more than a year working from home. Yan. And most of us working from home and mukhang enjoy ating speaker working from home, especially in this challenging time. Okay, so let's welcome Sir Earljon Hidalgo, our first speaker for this evening.
All right. Thanks, Chard. Let me just share my screen. Um, can you see? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, you're able to see the slides.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks.
And we can also see the code. Parang medyo may it chat. Yan. Malaki na ulit.
Okay na. Yeah. So sorry about that.
And then I think kailangan mo lakasan lang konti yung voice.
Yeah. So hello everyone. So hope we are still in good shape and safe in this time of pandemic. So I hope we are all well. So hi and good evening to all of us. So for tonight, I will be presenting the topic around AWS System Manager. It will just be a brief introduction on it because this service has a lot of features and capabilities to offer. And I will be just touching some of the basic ones that we use on our daily basis work. And also, I will also be showing you how AWS System Manager plays an important role to manage our instances with ease and confidence and the way we are leveraging some of the functionalities available. So hope you can learn something from it and let's get started. So AWS System Manager is a broad topic for itself. So for the scope of this presentation, let's identify what is it in its simplest form, the benefits that we will be getting by using the AWS System Manager, and then we will look at how we can use some of the available SSM documents and how do we create our own custom documents to be used and executed in our managed instances. And then if time permits, I will also be showing you a live demo of running an SSM document that will get executed inside your instances. So what is it? AWS System Manager was introduced last 2017 as a new standalone service to really consolidate all related management tools and features. So if you are familiar a long time ago, so merong section sa EC2 na EC2 System Manager. So limited lang yung functionality niya. So that's why AWS has a opportunity to make it a standalone service. So it is a management service that helps us collect software inventory, schedule a maintenance window, automatically apply OS patches for both Windows and Linux operating system. So these capabilities will make it easy to track system configurations and maintain software compliance of your EC2 instances as well as your on-premises configuration. And then it also helps us maintain security and compliance by letting the AWS System Manager scan our instances and give us a report to take some action on it. Yeah. And but in order to utilize this service, the main requirement is our EC2 and or our on-premise instances should be a managed instance. So what is a managed instance? So a managed instance is just simply a machine that has the SSM agent installed on it and configured policy. So most operating systems provided by AWS already has this agent installed for both Windows and Linux, and even in Mac OS. So these AMIs are, for example, Amazon Linux, Linux 2, Ubuntu, Ubuntu 16.04, 18.04, 20.04. So for the Mac OS family, we have Mojave, Catalina, and then some Amazon Linux 2 ECS optimized base AB. And of course, hindi mawawala yung Windows 2016 and 2019. And some older 2008 hanggang 2012 version of AMI na nagsimula ng November 2016. So as mentioned earlier, it needs to have IAM policy attached to an instance and make sure that it is configured to have allow policy for to access the SSM policies inside the instance profile. Normally, we create an instance profile to attach one or more IAM policies that define the necessary permission. So AWS provides us a detailed step-by-step on how to set up System Manager, and I have linked this guide also in the reference section of this presentation. So System Manager is really easy to use. Simply just access System Manager from the management console, select the instances you want to manage, and define the management task you want to perform. So System Manager is available now at no cost. So wala siyang bayad, free to use, only the resources are involved that has a price to pay. So, yep. So in a nutshell, as we see from the process flow, uh, provided by AWS in their website, it shows an example of the different processes that AWS System Manager performs when sending a command to an instance or a set of instances. Yeah, so for number one, we use a number of available ways to use the service. So most common is by using management console and or by using the AWS CLI to configure, schedule, automate, and run some actions that you like to perform on your AWS resources. And then we move to number two. The system manager just verifies the configuration, permissions, and then sends all the requests to the SSM agent installed on the instances in AWS and in your servers on your on-prem. So the SSM agent will perform the specified configuration changes. So anything like OS patches, software installation updates, so it will perform that task for you. So and lastly, it enables the SSM agent to report the status of any configuration changes and actions back to the system manager console, and then send the status to you, to our user. So we will see this later when we have a demo for a more visualized effect of what we are talking about here. Yep. So why do we use it? So as you see from the table, these are all the capabilities of System Manager that helps us centralize our operational data from multiple AWS services and doing automation tasks across our AWS resources. So in our organization, we are not using all of these capabilities because there are so many of them, and each capability has its own complexities involved. But we intend to explore some of them in the future. So we use some of these capabilities because first of all, it is very easy to use for automation. It lets us automate repetitive tasks such as applying OS patches across a large group of instances, making regular updates to ABs, and enforcing configuration policies. And then we also have some improvements on visibility and control. So we can track detailed system configuration, the OS patch level, and so much more. And maintaining security and compliance is very important to us. So that's why Systems Manager helps us make our systems compliant and helps improve our security posture by defining patch baseline, applying up-to-date antivirus definition if necessary, and applying what you call the 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 CVE, the common vulnerabilities and exploits that are common to us lately. So this also significantly reduces our cost as we're not wasting time doing manual work, manual update, manual everything, and or detecting instances that that are not compliant. So also by utilizing and integrating the IAM to apply granular permission to control the action that our users can perform. So we have improved our overall security posture. And audit well is easy since all actions are recorded by Amazon Cloudwell. So we will not be going into details for each of these, but know that operations management is a suite of capabilities that help you manage your AWS resources, and application management is a suite as well of capabilities that help you manage your applications running in AWS. And then System Manager provides the following capabilities for taking action or changing your AWS resources. And then so much more. So for uh, for these capabilities, your on-premise servers and virtual machines are also part of these managed instances as well. Yeah, so what are those capabilities that we currently use? So these are some of the capabilities that our organization is being used on our daily basis. So you may be familiar with parameter store or simply param store in a developer world. So this is a capability of AWS Systems Manager actually provides secure storage for data and passwords. So we store all our sensitive information and then uh, reference them this information dynamically from our application. So whether it is on Lambda, on our website backend or shell or PowerShell scripts or anything that can use to get the password information. Yeah, and then we use automation. So one of the capability of AWS System Manager to automate common maintenance and deployment tasks. So you can use automation to create and update your Amazon machine images, and then apply driver and agent updates. You can use to reset password on Windows Server instances, or even reset the SSH keys on Linux instances, and apply OS patches or application update. And then this next capability we use is the maintenance window. Okay. This is to set up a recurring schedule for managed instances to run administrative tasks, such as, for example, installing your patches and updates without interrupting business critical operation. So, for us, for example, for our development and test machine, we schedule to run the OS patches on a daily basis. For point one instances, we schedule it to run, let's say, MWF, and for production, we only run it once a week, so every Sunday. So that will not impact our overall business critical operation. So it is very useful to us to have this capability to be using in our organization. So and then one thing is the session manager. So this capability is allows you to manage your easy to instances through an interactive one-click browser-based shell or through the AWS CLI. So if you're familiar with AWS CLI, so there is a command in there that lets you access your AWS without even using your PEM file. So this is a good capability by Systems Manager, and we use it almost daily because we wouldn't want to always access the instance via the console, management console. We want to always access it to via AWS CLI. So Session Manager provides the secure and auditable instance management without needing to to open inbound port, for example port 22 or port 2389 for RDP, and or maintain some bastion host on some organizations do that, and manage some SSH keys. So when you if you are on the management console and you click on the instance, for example, you can notice the connect button on the top. So there's a when you click the connect button, it has a session manager tab that you can use to connect to your instance. And also you can trigger the session manager, like I said, via CLI. So and then the next one is we use the run command. This capability of Systems Manager is to allow us to remotely and securely manage the configuration of our managed instances at scale. So use run command to actually perform on-demand changes such as updating application or running Linux shell scripts of some sort or any Windows PowerShell command if you are on Windows on a target set of dozens or hundred instances all in one, and just one command that you can have, and every instances on your Windows and Linux machine will perform that script. So some of our use case in that aspect is that we use this to actually trigger a command in our website. For example, if we are going to do some maintenance work and we want to take our website offline, and then after a couple of minutes or hours, we put it back to make our website active again. So we use this capability of session manager. And then of course we do not run this run command manually. So we set up a Jenkins job to do the work for us. But we set up the AWS command in the inside the Jenkins. So we also created a bunch of custom SSM documents to install some of the agents that we use to enable and monitor telemetry, some logging, and discoverability for each instances. So because it's very important to us since we are managing a large set of managed instance, so we want to have some logging agent installed and discoverability agents so that we can monitor our instances in a dashboard. So And some of the agents that we install, for example, are Neuralink, Homology, and Qualys, if you're familiar with it, and CloudStrike. So there are actually many predefined documents already created by AWS that you can actually use depending on what you want to accomplish. Like, for example, joining to a domain, run Ansible playbooks, or maybe you like to run or configure Docker. So AWS has that document for you, ready to use. So I think in my opinion, of all the documents provided by AWS, I would say in that the two most commonly used NSM documents are the AWS run shell script and the AWS run PowerShell script. So yeah, and then for regarding the AWS SSM document, so how to get started actually. So as mentioned, so we've been using custom documents and incorporating them in our transformation template, so that in every launch instances, we are confident that our required agents are installed and configured properly. Uh, Mm, yeah, so as you can see, this JSON document will use the run command to perform the necessary action to install and configure the agent to our platform. So these are for Windows and Linux. So because we don't have yet a Mac OS in AWS, but we are planning to. So and then this document can also reference external dependency, as you can see here. So like for example, your file or your required file are from S3 bucket, and or some files you need to download from the web. So this functionality can be included and attached in your JSON document. So actually, what is the typical S3 bucket and file structure that we use? So this is sample S3 bucket folder and file structure for our agent that we follow that is being utilized inside our JSON SSL document. So you will notice that for each operating system, there is a corresponding installer file, so that when you run the document based on your operating system and document logic, it will fetch and download the installer specific to your OS. And then so what does the document actually look like? So this is a sample document template. This is version 2.2. This is the latest document schema from AWS. So in order for you to create a custom document that contains your code, whether you like to install an agent and or perform other tasks, you will just need to follow the basic structure of a JSON document. So in its simplest form, this is the basic foundation of creating the document. So schema version to actually determine the correct parsing action to be taken by system manager when it runs. And then hopefully a useful description of what your document will perform. So this will also give other users as well a hint of what this document will actually do. And then if you like to have some parameters on it, but these are just optional. But if you need it, so there's a properties called parameters. So the main content of this document is the main steps, wherein systems manager will take an action and perform the code inside the run command. The steps in the document will run in order that you specified. So you will see the point condition parameter. So this is the way System Manager supports the cross platform that enables you to actually specify different operating systems for the same SSM document. So you don't need to create multiple documents that uh, targeted only on specific OS platform. So you can have this point condition parameter to include in your SSM document. And also the platform type supported currently are Linux, Windows, and macOS only. So other than that, System Manager doesn't support it yet. And then, so once you actually publish this document, it will have an initial version. So for example, version 1. And any updates to this document will create a new version. So this versioning is very useful because you can imagine that you can specify which version you want to use to run this document in some of your managed instances, for example. But also you can specify which version is the default document to use if you are not specifying the version number. Yeah. So that's it for the introduction of the AWS System Manager. And I think we have some time, and we are now in a demo part of the presentation. And I will be switching later to my browser to actually open the AWS Management Console and on my terminal if needed. So for this demo, I will just be focusing on how we can create a simple custom document that you can run in a managed instance. Yeah, so but before doing so let me just show you two more slides on how we can also manage document using AWS CLI to have a better picture on what it looks like, as well as uh, how to execute this document. So in the CLI, so the first part is we used to create a new SSM document. So all we need is the content, which is either a JSON or XML file that you have. So if you're comfortable with XML, you can use that as well. But most of us already familiar with JSON, and JSON is the de facto standard nowadays. And the name of the document and the type of document. Yeah, and tags are optional, but very useful to have, and a good practice to always tag your document. And also, if you like to update your document, so there's also a syntax up here in the slide. So this syntax will work. We will just replacing all the available values. Yeah. So, but if you don't like to do this by a CLI, of course, you can always use System Manager GUI to perform similar tasks. And then also this CLI command, by the way, are also available in AWS System Manager user guide website. And then, so how do we actually send the command via AWS CLI? So this is an example of how we can run a document by using AWS CLI SSM send command operation. So in the document dash name parameter, you see the full ARN value of the document, but also you can just specify just the document name and not the whole resource name. But you can use the document name if you're running this command under the same AWS account. But if not, if let's say if you have multiple AWS accounts, you need to specify the full ARN path to be able for the document to find and execute the running the requesting AWS CLI. So also it's a good practice to add a comment message to your command to be able for you to actually know what app or agent is going to install and to what instance type. So because if you can see the AWS management console, AWS only gives us the long random generated ID called the command ID to actually track the installation progress. Yeah, so you can see the progress in System Manager run command section. All right, so let me just uh, let me just share my screen. So can you see the Visual Studio Code or not?
Yes, Earljon. We can see yung documents dash AWSUG demo.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
How about the Visual Studio Code? This one, or not? So maybe I can share.
Just a terminal. Yun lang kita.
Yeah, sorry about that. 1 second. Let me just pull and share. All right. So
Yeah, we can see the VS Code. Earljon, nawala yung audio. Can you hear him?
patayin mo yung Bluetooth mo. Yung Bluetooth mo.
Can you try to speak again?
Yeah, hello. Sorry about that. I was
There you go.
disconnected. Yeah, my audio got disconnected. Yeah, sorry. So can you see my Visual Studio Code?
Yes, we
now?
can.
Yeah, and also the CLI terminal.
Yep.
Yep. All right. Sounds perfect. So as you can see, this is the example document. So for this example, I will be using this AWS user group page latest menu. So for example, if we're running a website, just a fictitious example in our managed instance, and we like to dump the latest food menus from the restaurant into our managed instances, and then later on display it in our website. So this will be the way to go about it. So the command is actually pretty simple, but yours will, I'm sure, will be complex based on your business logic. So what it actually does is actually just referencing some public S3 bucket. So because I think this, I thought this example because normally nowadays when we eat in a restaurant, they normally offer a QR code to scan the menus. Yeah, when we eat outside, and then when you see the URL, it actually points to normally the most common are S3 bucket. So they are actually using AWS for sure. So for example, for Marriott Ways restaurant, they have this URL. Uh, and then so in order for us to create this document, so let me just uh, share the Google Chrome. Yeah. So as you can see in the system manager. So by the way, so this is the example. This is the GUI for the AWS Systems Manager. So these are the as I mentioned on the slide, these are the capabilities. Some are simple and some are complex, but uh, fun to explore on your own or on your organization. So for this demonstration, so I will be using the document. So as you can see here, so we don't have any document installed that owned by us. So but we would like to have that one created via AWS CLI. But also, like I said, if you're not familiar with AWS CLI, you can actually create one like this in this window, and it has the same parameter like I have in the JSON document that I showed you earlier. But for this demonstration, we will run the CLI. So in order for us to actually run the CLI, we yeah we are sorry daming window kasi. Yeah, so we will need to create the document, so we can actually create this one so that the time magtatagal. Yeah, so if we hit enter, yeah, so it says that it is creating. So let's check the console if it's actually created. Oh, maybe. So there you go. So this is an example on how you upload your custom document. So we have the fetch latest menu, and as you can see, it is only available in Linux. So because for example, our web server are all Linux based OS. So and then there are many ways to actually use this document. For example, if we need to actually run this document one, for example, to test it out. So you can actually use the run command capability, and then we just hit the run command, and then we just search the owner by owned by me, and then so there you go, you can actually create have your own document displayed in this window. Yeah, so here we can see just the parameters available for in order for us to execute the document. So for example, for the target, you can actually specify the tags. For example, I want this document to run on machine that has a tab of production or test or anything like that for instance. And also you can choose to uh, instant select choose the instant manually or choose the resource group. But I haven't really tried this one. I only use this two. And then yeah, some comments around it if you're going to execute. And for example, the output option. So if you like the log messages to be presented in or uploaded in S3 bucket, you can do so by just checking this one out. And then so we are going to actually execute this parameter, and what we like to have is this one. Uh, yeah, so if we like to have this run this document, so for example, we like to have some comment around it, and then we need to actually run the command. So we are using the document version 1. But if you would like to modify some of the content of your code, then you will have to use this one in CLI to actually update the document. So let's run the SSM document, and hopefully it runs successfully. If not, so sorry about that. Yeah, so it runs perfectly fine. So if we are going to go about here, we can see that command history that yeah, it is a success. So we have finally run our initial document. So how do we verify if the document was run successfully? So let's take a look at one of the capabilities of Systems Manager called the Fleet Manager. So we can open this one up. So this one. So this Fleet Manager capability is very useful because it allows you to actually browse the content of the machine without even logging in. Yeah, so I'm using this one to have a sample demo also. So let's say we will browse the uh, home directory, and I believe we put it here in easy to user and under menu. Yeah, and then you go, there you go. We have successfully, we know for sure that the file, the PDF file is uploaded in our machine. And one last demo before we close is that if we, like I said, there are you can also use the AWS CLI to actually go use the session manager. So to actually use that one, so we will be using this uh, CLI command. So before that, maybe we can check for the instance ID of the machine. So here, we can actually use this one, the machine. So I have actually provided an alias for this one so that we will not be typing anymore over and over again. So yeah, so if you are going to use that one, so see, we are now actually in the machine. So if we look at the uh, home user menu, we can actually see the PDF, the same file that we use to see in the System Manager Fleet service. Yeah. So I think uh, yep, I think that's about it. For references, I have linked some of the URLs that I use in this presentation and in this demo, and hopefully you can use this one also. Yeah, and then thank you very much for participating and listening. So if you have any questions, feel free to do so. Yeah. All right. Sure. I'm good.
Yeah, thank you, Sir Earljon. Yep. So if you have any questions about the topic, AWS Systems Manager, please palagay po sa ating Q&A box or just leave us a message, just a chat box. And may mga questions po kayo.
Yeah. I will stop sharing now, sir. Okay. Thank
Yeah, thank you, Sir Earljon. Grabe, no? Yung systems manager,
Yep.
there's really a lot of capabilities.
Yeah, and we only covered just a basic introduction of that one. Yeah.
Yan. Grabe. And you can use them in multiple ways.
Ako may question ako para to kickstart lang, no, and then the rest maybe they can just ask later on over Q&A and chat. So I think my question is with systems manager, gagamit pa, when would I use other orchestration tools, no, like mga maybe things like yung mga Ansible, or I may best case scenario ba na parang hey, systems manager na lang ako, or better if gagamit ako ng Ansible or other tools like that.
Yeah, so the good thing is I presented the SSM document. So actually the heart of the system manager is in the SSM document, wherein you can actually create your own custom code inside the SSM document, and then later on you can call that SSM document inside your maybe Ansible, transformation, or even Terraform to do the task for you. So that's the way we integrate the SSM document in your existing playbooks.
Right, great. No, thanks for that answer. So making the document and then as the playbook and then later used by these other services.
Yep, exactly.
Right. Thank you for that.
Thank you. So how about others? Meron po kayong question? And attendees? Meron po kayong question to Sir Earljon. Okay. Okay, so if may question po kayo, just leave sa Q&A box lang po. We can answer that later po. So if wala, we can proceed now to our next speaker. Thank you, Sir Earljon.
Thanks very much.
And now I'll be introducing our second speaker for this evening. Okay, so she is a QA automation engineer at Shield Foundry. She has an extensive experience of building and maintaining automation test environments using different programming languages. She focuses on automating everything approach. And with the topic of creating an API that runs Selenium via AWS Lambda, let's welcome our second speaker, Jaira Enshaw.
Hi everyone, good evening. How are you? So, Pinay naman lahat na nandito, no? Magtataglish na lang ako. I'm gonna be sharing how to create an API that runs Selenium script via AWS Lambda. So, I'm gonna share my screen right now. I'm gonna run a full intro and then demo agad. So, can you see my screen? So, I'm just gonna read first and then we'll proceed with the demo part. Being an automation tester, that's what my job is to automate everything. As I was running my test script via terminal, I realized that I'm the only one who can execute the scripts I made. What if someone wants to run it, like the devs, project manager, and many others? It would be a tedious task to clone my repo, install libraries, and run the script. So I decided that maybe I can store my tests inside a serverless machine and make it accessible via API requests. This will result in higher production and time savings. Engineers may focus on vital work because automated testing does not require human interaction. This is like a portable testing device that anyone could execute. With fast test execution, developers get testing reports in an instant. So whenever failure occurs, they will react to it quickly. So I'm just gonna go with the overview right now on how to create this. First, we create two Lambda layers that has Selenium Chrome driver and libraries. Next is we include the created Lambda layers in the serverless YAML of Lambda, then deploy. So the first part is to create the Selenium Lambda layer. With this, we download the Selenium layer directory. I'm gonna share another screen of my console. So wait. Hi, can you see my screen? It says layers. So with this,
Yes, we can see the serverless.yaml.
yes, I'm not gonna teach it yet. So I have here, this is the zip file already that was created in the docs that I have written. And we also have the Selenium libraries. So what we want is that we want to upload this as a layer in our Lambda. So I'm gonna share another of my screen here. So we're here in the layers. So what we do is we create layer, we name it as what we want. Description is optional. So for example, we're gonna be using 3.8. Then just upload the zip file. And then we choose compatible runtime. So any runtime is applicable, just adjust your drivers. And then we click create. I won't click create because this took long, maybe 5 minutes. So I just click cancel. Then I'll return to another of my screen, the layers. So that's the manual way of how we create layers, but we can also do it serverlessly. So in here, I have created the serverless YAML file. This is the name of the layers, Selenium and Chrome driver, the description that you have seen earlier, and the compatible runtimes. So how do we run this? SLS deploy. SLS means serverless in AWS. So I've also set AP South is 1. That's the region that we're gonna upload our layers. Any questions? None. Let's just wait. This is faster than uploading it manually. As you can see, it's creating stack, and CloudFormation is the one responsible for serverless YAML files. There are available templates online, and that's where I got in mine. So that's it. It's just creating. And while it's creating, let's return to here. So it says in here, place libraries in Python in this path to include them in a layer. So that's what I did. I included them in this path because since we're using layers, path directories are consistent. Then this is also the Chrome driver. I have also included the headless Chromium because we're gonna be including headless Chrome in our library. And this is again the manual way of uploading. So let's return to our running script. Still uploading. Do you have any questions so far? Anyone? I think it's done. Yes, it's done. So when we go to our are seeing it now. Here it's created. Share that. we have created our Chrome driver and Selenium layers now. So when we click in here, this is our description and our layers. So we're gonna go on how to create function. Wait. So the second step, now that we have created our layers, our libraries, we're gonna create our Lambda function. So to ensure that your function code has access to libraries included in layers, Lambda runtimes include paths in up directory. This is also required by the AWS Lambda function. So here's the file structure of mine, Lambda, under.py, and serverless YAML. So I'm sure another screen. Are you seeing a handler.py file? I assume yes. So this is a Selenium script. If this is your first time encountering one, headless means we're running our Selenium via headless mode. It means there's no GUI or GUI. Next, no sandbox. This is just a sandbox is a testing environment for devs in the Chrome browser, so we don't need that. Single process, it's like when you click a tab and it opens another one. So that's called multi-processes. So we only need single process in our serverless. And disable dev SHM usage. So same with Docker containers. Dev SHM is just a shared memory, and we don't need that for our Chrome. So with this, we called our driver in our layers. So I'm just gonna deploy this first. SLS deploy again. And in our serverless YAML, as you can see, we've called our layers in here. And this is the name of our function. This is our region. And this is our handler. And then this is our function, handler.main. So how does this converts to an API? So I added an event, is a get method. And we also have API gateway resource here. So it's creating another stack. And while it's creating, let's go again to the handler. So I want it to return status code of 200 if I have successfully logged in. If else, I want it to return 404. And yeah, that's it. Any questions so far?
All good
Hi,
so
everyone.
far.
May question lang po.
Sure. What's it?
Ako, Jaira, I have a question. Is there a way to customize this based on, let's say you want to test your own application? Is there a way to customize this?
What do you mean by customize? Like this Selenium script?
Yeah.
Yes. How do I explain? Yes, you can customize it in the handler.py. Like if you want your website in here, if you want like another methods in here. Did I answer correctly? I'm not sure if I answered correctly.
Yeah, I think so. This andyan yung mga.
Okay. So here we have created our first API. So first let's test if it works. I hope it works. I've been doing this for years. I hope it works. So, oh my God. Oh, wait, it's successfully. Why did I remove? Okay, so successful yung API ko. I think mali lang yung invoke function na ginawa ko. But I'm removing it right now. I'm not sure how to cancel it. But that's it. Successful siya, login successful. Nag-run yung Selenium script. So, pumasok siya dito sa website. So, if I try to open this website that I have inputted, I just took this somewhere in the net. So, sabi niya dito, input username. So, ginawa niya is test user. And then, input daw password. So, this is the password. And I wanted to click login. So, I click login. And what I'm trying to assert in here is if the element submit is present. So, if yes, login successful. So, it returned login successful. So, success yung API natin. Now that I have removed it, I don't think I can show you. So, I'll have to deploy it again.
Jaira, while deploying, we have one question here. Sabi dito, aside from
sure.
Selenium, would it be the same if I use Puppeteer or Phantom.js? Also, how would you handle CAPTCHAs in automation?
CAPTCHAs. Wait, Puppeteer first. Applicable ang Selenium in any languages. I've tried Puppeteer also, but when I use Lambda, I've only used Python instead. Then for CAPTCHAs, I've never tried testing CAPTCHA in Lambda. I've only tested once in my local, but from what I know, I think that the devs gave me the third-party API that produces the CAPTCHA. I JSON parse it, and then that's what I input. Does that make sense? Yeah, so may API yung pagproduce ng CAPTCHA. So, yun. Nag-generate siya din. That's what I used to find element. Ay, sorry guys. Ito pala yung sinasabi ko kanina, hindi nyo pala nakita. So, nag-login successful siya yung API na na-create natin. That's why nag-work yung API. So, the purpose of this is kunwari si project manager, hey, may papatest ako sa'yo, patest naman ng login. Tapos ako, mag-open pa ako ng local machine ko, tapos mag-environment pa ako, virtual environment, or magpaano pa ako ng Docker. So, gawin ko, ito na API, you test this yourself. Pag nag-return 200, it's good. If not, just file it as a bug. So, yun yung purpose niya. So, nag-deploy na ulit yung dineploy natin na isa. So, if I refresh this, nasa AP Southeast 2 pala. Nakita niyo naman yung AWS machine ko.
Yep.
So, ito na yung naka-create na function. And then, dito niyo makikita yung API na na-create natin. So, ito siya yung ito yung pinaka-function na na-create natin. Meron siyang connected with API, gateway, and such. So, ito yung isa. So, ito yung nag-success. So, I'm gonna share another screen. Kung kunwari, ang dami nyo na API, like for example, you have already 100 APIs. So, this is just a logging file that I have created. So, for example, this is your APIs that you have created. You just paste it here. This is my personal APIs. So, what I want is mag-create ako ng log file, makita ko lahat ng test sa APIs ko. So, what I do is I just run the main, and there you have it. So, eto na siya. Like, we can rename this. Ay, hindi nyo pala nakikita. Sorry. Logger. Here's the log file. So, kunwari, ito yung first API mo, login API, nag-200. Yung isa, nag-400. So, that's how you test for pag marami ka ng API. So, returning back to the log script. Ito siya, status code, and yung title, you can change this to login API, whatever you want it. Tas yung isa naman, for example, tinetest nyo feature is main tab feature. Mga ganyan. So, kapag nagpunta kayo sa log file and then you run it again, mag-change siya dito. So, that's it. Yun lang yung sa akin. Yeah, that's it. Yun lang. Hope you understand. I hope you may natutunan kayo sa akin. Yun lang.
Yeah, thank you, Jaira, for the demo. And again, you can visit yung Dev2 AWS community blog ni Jaira or yung sinishare niya kanina screen to review that. And Jaira, may isa pang question dito. Since we're using this for automation, would Lambda be still advisable if some instances of the script runtime duration is 8 to 10 minutes or even longer?
I think ang max lang ni Lambda is 15 minutes. So for longer functions, actually pinag-usapan kami ni Rafi about yan last time. Like, what if marami akong function, like super haba na niya. And I think mag-internal server error siya kasi nga nagta-time out na. So I'm thinking of queuing yung functions, or if maybe not, if hindi pa siya feasible, what I'm doing is I run it via code pipeline, code commit, and code build. So I commit in code commit and it runs in code pipeline. But there's no API in that. So for longer functions, I think it would be good if ano natin yung queuing service ni Lambda. So hindi siya magra-run lang in a single Lambda para hindi siya mag-fail. That's it.
Thank you, Jaira. Anyone else? You still have some questions? Hey, very educational, Jaira. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the demo. So if may question lang po kayo, just leave a question doon sa Q&A box natin and Jaira will just be on standby to answer your questions. Okay. Yan. And then we will now proceed to our third speaker for this evening. Pwede ba kayo to complete our speaker lineup for this evening? Okay, so to introduce the third speaker, he is a computer science graduate at Our Lady of Fatima University. He has more than 6 years of solid experience as software developer. Currently, he is a senior lead full stack engineer at AWSUG.PH, in which he lead the delivery of Ateneo's ACET or ACET online application for the school year 2021 to 2022, with the topic of AWS DynamoDB stream. Let's call in Almar Frank Irlandes.
Yes, hello guys. Good evening to all. So my name is Almar from Irlandes. So from AWSUG.PH. So ano lang, medyo na-intimidate na ako kasi puro sila demo pa eh. But tonight, more on presentation about our implementation of DynamoDB stream in AWSUG.PH. So more on graph lang yung presentation ko tonight. So, oops. So let me share my screen. Alright. Nakikita nyo ba guys?
Yes, kita.
Yes, alright. So before proceeding to my topic for tonight, may intro lang ako. So public speaking is one of the activities that I'm very terrified to do. So thank you to AWS User Group Philippines, especially to Boss Rapi, yung boss ko sa education, for convincing me to overcome this. So more on tonight, I would like to share a lot of story of our implementation of this. So let's proceed. So overview is all about what is serverless, then yung DB stream, and yung asset implementation. So itong asset kasi is one of biggest project na hinandle ko here in AWSUG.PH. So let's proceed. So again, what is serverless? So there are top 3 words that come to mind when I hear serverless. So which is PaaS, and also the word serverless, and autoscale. So what PaaS does? So well, in PaaS, you can only focus on the function. And what is the function is? Function is individual components that actually kind of your actually make your applications uh, managed by our cloud service provider. So in PaaS, we actually focus on writing the code. So imagine, di ba, when you say serverless, wala na tayong iisipin na handling na server, ganyan. So, and the second one is serverless. So, does it mean na pag sinabi mong serverless, does it mean na wala bang server to? Well, the answer is absolutely no. Well, it has a server na nagra-run, but it completely managed by our cloud service provider. For example, the AWS, Azure, GCP. So meron pa rin. So meron pa rin siyang server. So pag sinabi serverless, not necessary na wala talaga siyang server. So ayun yung sometimes na naiisip natin. And auto-scale. So when you say auto-scale, well, it will decrease our stack implementation. So what does it mean? We have a less control behind the scene. So okay, let's say may EC2 instance ka, and sometimes we manage it to auto scale our system, right? So in serverless, it will auto scale our application. So si cloud service provider, siya na yung bahala to auto scale all of this, yung mga kailangan natin behind the scene. And before proceeding to my next slide, so medyo may kwento lang ako. So I joined education last year, and ang issue lang that time is pagkamatay ni Kobe, yan, sumabog yung taal, tapos nakamas na agad dahil sumabog yung taal. And one naaalala ko that time is my onboarding at AWSUG.PH. So si Rapi, sabi niya sa akin, one of our goal is to have a 1 million or million of active user kami sa education platform. So paano namin ma-achieve yun? Siyempre dapat hindi na. So paano ba ma-interact yung user or especially the Gen Z? Kasi ang education, if we are aiming, we are the lead, we are number 1 in leading the education online platform in the Philippines. So our goal is to help the Gen Z youth or Filipino Gen Z youth to achieve their career and fulfill their career goals. So ayun yung target namin. So ang sabi namin ni Rafi ng onboarding is kailangan natin makakuha ng million of active users within a year. So paano yun? So that time education already in the process of migrating yung whole platform into serverless. So before, meron kaming old platform na which is written in Ruby. Tapos nag-run siya to EC2 instance. Tapos it has a RDS. Tapos, ayun nga. So, kami mga devs, halos lahat kami bago lahat. So, sabi nila serverless. So, kami wala pang experience sa serverless since that which is serverless is the latest trend nga in tech industry. So, some of the companies are already switching to serverless na nga. So, si Education di rin magpapahuli. And that time, sorry. And that time, one of the biggest project of Education is asset from Ateneo. So Education has uh, a lot of services that we offer to Gen Z youths, which is we have a called, what do you mean? We have an online courses. Then they can search senior high schools and college or university, and also they can search a school abroad. So lahat ng information about the educational institution, or we also have a partnership with other foundations, something ganon, or scholarship. So lahat ng feature for them, they can search in education. And one of the feature that we offer is the online application. So we have already a fixed application that the school can use for the student can apply to them using that, which is fixed feed lang siya. So fixed feed, so hindi na edit. And that time our goal is also to create a custom form. So yung custom form is uh, we offer it to school at premium. So custom form siya na pwede i-edit. So ngayon ito si Ateneo is very standalone kasi Ateneo medyo siya special client. Yung si Ateneo gusto niya separate from the custom form. And we decided to build another table for it na yung our custom form and the Ateneo is magsasama to one table. Ngayon, kami sa team, we decided na i-migrate ba natin yung RDS into yung Postgre natin kasi yung RDS is Postgre. Gagawin ba natin to MySQL? So, sobrang complex na ng database namin dahil sobrang dami na nga ng informations. Sobrang malaki na. So, our goal is within a year is to have an active o millions of active user. So, kung i-migrate namin yung database, sobrang kukulangin sa oras. So, we decided to stick with the RDS. And then, syempre, si AWS, it has a lot of serverless service na we can use so that our database is not stressed. So, ayun. So, dahil nga ganun, gawa na lang tayo ng design so that yung design na we can use other services so that hindi ma-stress yung RDS. So one of those is DynamoDB. So bakit pa magda-DynamoDB RDS na? So ito kasi si Ateneo kasi is yung form niya is meron siyang 6 sections, as I remember, 6 sections. So sobrang haba. So ang goal nga is ka-attract ng students. Siyempre nga, di ba, like if we book a plane ticket, sometimes doon sa sobrang dami. So we expected na once we open the application for asset, malamang hindi kakayanin yun, so magda-down. So paano yun? Paano natin siya gagawin na hindi magda-down yung system? We expect a lot of students na sabay-sabay, especially pag nag-open na yung asset. And yan, one na naisip namin is to queue the application. Yung application is to queue. So what if i-message queue natin to? So meron si AWS, meron siyang message queue, right? Pero pag message queue natin to, so hindi agad makaka-recover yung data when kung sabihin natin 1,000 of students and let's say nag-apply siya tapos hindi pa napapasok agad sa database yung application niya. So that's why we use the DynamoDB kasi si DynamoDB is a fully managed SQL database operated by AWS and fast and flexible. So paano ko siya nasabi na fast and flexible? Kasi yeah, sabi nga DynamoDB can handle a billion of requests per day and million of requests per second. So sobrang bilis talaga ng AWS and flexible. Tapos and why we decided to use DynamoDB kasi yung process ni Ateneo once the students submitted their application, it will automatically can proceed to another step. So meron kasi steps by step. Like first process natin is the form, the application form and essay, adding of recommenders. So and proof of payments, upload their proof of the payments. After that is the acknowledgement na tapos na yung yung process. So after submitting application, ma-open yung pre-process na yun. So once ang isipin mo, paano ko nag-refresh ako? Wala pa sa RDS ko yun kasi naka-queue pa siya. Ibig sabihin, magtataka si student, ba't wala pa nga, hindi pa na-open yung essay. So kaya pinili namin itong DynamoDB na agad may store siya doon. Para once the student refresh, magigat agad yung data so that they can proceed to another steps. And ito naman ang kinaganda ni DynamoDB, bakit namin siya ginamit? Kasi ito yung asset application flow. So the student submit their application, then papasok siya sa Amazon API gateway, then Amazon will proceed to Lambda function, which is yung mag-check if the form is okay, ganyan, then if not, will go back to student. Then if okay, then papasok siya sa Amazon DynamoDB. From the Amazon DynamoDB, matitriggered ngayon tong DynamoDB stream. From the DynamoDB stream, mapasok ngayon siya sa RDS. Marireplicate yung data from Amazon DynamoDB. Marireplicate yung data to main database ng edukasyon. So, let's say, masasabi ba natin maganda si DynamoDB stream? Yes, maganda siya dahil time ordered siya. So parang nag-queue na rin yung data. So let's say, paano ko masabi na time ordered siya? Kasi I tested it na nag-failed yung code ko and the rest are not processed. So kailangan muna yung isang request ko dapat mag-successful siya before proceeding to another request. So ganun siya. So doon ko siya na-test na time order talaga siya. So ayun, so ganun mga scenario na nag-fade siya. Hindi siya magpo-proceed to another request. Kailangan ma-fix mo yun. Yung nag-fade na request. So how do you handle that? So add ka lang ng ika-catch mo lang siya, exemption mo lang siya. So one of the ginawa namin dyan, kasi pag nag-exempt, kinakatch namin and then ninonotify namin, gumawa kami ng channel sa Slack and then pinapasa namin what particular, yung partition key na yun, yung nag-fail na yun, para makita namin agad and ma-fix yung nangyari. So we can check in the CloudWatch agad kung ano yung nangyari. So ganoon siya. So parang hindi nag-fade. Kasi pwede naman yun. So ayun pa yung kinaganda niya. So if nag-fade nga, still the data, nasa DynamoDB pa rin siya. So hindi natapon. So yun nga. Hindi siya natapon. Nandun pa rin siya sa DynamoDB. So yung si student, proceed pa rin siya to another steps of the application for asset. So kami, i-fix na lang namin yan so that it can be inserted into our database sa RDS. So, ayun, may question ba regarding on the flow? So I can proceed to the DynamoDB stream. Topic for the DynamoDB stream. So bilisan na natin ito para makapag-games na kayo, yung favorite nyo. So ito yung flow ng DynamoDB stream. So paano siya nati-trigger? So there are 3 events na nati-trigger lang yung DynamoDB stream. So when the data is insert, update, or delete. So ngayon, yung number 1, say this one, yung number 1. So when the data is update, insert, update, or delete, papasok na yun siya sa DynamoDB stream. And then, yung event, papasok siya to DynamoDB stream and the Lambda function will triggered. Ngayon, dito sa Lambda function, you can use your case na nagagawin mo to process what yung data event, yung data records. And then, by the way, guys, when the item are triggered items are triggered, there are new and old image na makikita in the DynamoDB stream. So, perfect to do an audit trail. So, you can match what's yung nangyari, yung old and yung new. So, makikita niyo dun yung nagbago. So, ayun yung kinaganda. So, very useful siya. And, sige, tapusin natin ito for my last slide. So, benefits of using Dynamo Stream. Ayun nga, sabi ko, number 1, can log the event. Can log the events from the DynamoDB. So, yun nga, perfect siya to do audit trails. So, ganun. Kunyari, may changes. So, pwede ka gumawa audit trail for it. And good for data replication or migration. So, ayun yung ginawa namin. Yung ni-replicate namin yung data from the DynamoDB to RDS. And order events. So, ano siya? Masasabi ko nga na time order siya. Tawag dito. Yung nga, pag nag-failed, just catch the code lang para mag-proceed to another request. So, ganun lang yung nangyayari. Tapos, number 4 is can unlock other useful cases when events are triggered. So, hinabahan ko lang, etc. talaga. So, yun nga, kung may other useful events ka, like, let's say you have a game. Meron kang game. And you have another table for, like leaderboard or others. So, pwede mo siya agad ipasok yun doon real time when the events are triggered. So, sometimes di ba? Pwedeng sometimes gumagamit tayo ng cron, ganyan, so ganyan. So, hindi mo na kailangan gumamit ng cron. So, when you sometimes replicate the data or ganon. So, DynamoDB is very helpful para sa mga ganong cases and other cases pa. So, that's it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you. Uy, may mga nag-raise hand. May tanong kaya yun? What nag-raise hand?
Oh, I see. Si Francis nag-raise na hand. May question ka ba, Francis? Or you want to say something or accidentally lang napindot? But for Frank, we have a question here. First question is there an instance po ba na na-reach nyo ang concurrency limit ni Lambda? Sir Frank, is there an instance na na-reach nyo po ang concurrency limit ni Lambda with the architecture that you have?
I think na-mute ka, Frank.
Sorry, minum lang ito. So, di naman. So, ano lang. Wala naman experience na gano'n na reach yung limit. Kasi, at the first place, test pa lang namin siya. Kasi we are new to serverless. So, our goal is to avoid na ma-stress yung RDS. So, yun nga, ginamit namin itong AWS. Kasi, DynamoDB is one of serverless service offered by AWS. So, ayun. So, we expecting also the thousands of students. So, Hindi naman na-experience. And what happened to RDS? Well, yung RDS kasi, yun nga, explain ko. We decided na one table for application. So, ayun nga, since we use Postgre, it support JSON, so madali siya. So, ginawa namin JSON yung mga feeds, especially for the personal information, ganyan. So that it can be easy to implement. Ganun yung ginawa namin siya. Ayun, yung sa RDS kasi, doon nila, yung admin side, for example, the OOA of Ateneo, which is the admin of Ateneo, doon sila nag-access sa RDS, yung pinaka-system namin. So ginamit lang namin yung DynamoDB for the submitting of application for asset. So ganun. Why not increase RDS instead? So well, naisip rin namin yan. Pero kasi, daming feature ni edukasyon eh. Hindi lang yung application eh. So, especially like, let's say sabihin natin, in-increase namin yung instance and bumigay pa rin. Eh, si asset, yung form niya, ang haba for section. So, it is good for the user ba? Na ganun. Di ba? Hindi. So, very good to use DynamoDB na automatic.
And siguro add lang ako, no, since I'm here. So the reason then we want to use DynamoDB before going direct to RDS is for its right speed, right? Kasi if potentially pag nasa SQL based, pwede ka magkaroon ng read and write lock table, no? So what actually very common to sa anything na parang transactions, you write it off muna sa isang NoSQL. Kaya nga sumikat tong mga Mongo, Cassandra, because sa sobrang bilis nila mag-write. But eventually, if ma-notice nyo rin in the future, ililipat din yan sa isang data warehouse or what for SQL-like naman na information. No? So here, may buffer ka lang ng write heavy para later on magamit mo rin sa mga relational information later on. So thank you for that, Francis. And naki-add lang ako sa sinabi na ni Frank. Frank, may other question pa tayo dito.
Costing. Wala akong alam sa costing. So, si Rafi na may alam dyan.
Sige, ako na lang tasagot. Anong question dito? Question ko is about costing. May rough
Estimation
ba tayo sa gastos nyo sa DynamoDB?
I think may naman, may calculator naman sa AWS regarding on that.
Right. So meron calculator for that, no? Again here is because mura lang ang DynamoDB since serverless na siya, di ba? So it's the IOPS yung binabayaran mo at that time. So more or less on usage siya. Hindi siya based on time. And so that's why mas mura din talaga na DynamoDB yung ginamit namin versus let's say linakayan namin yung RDS kasi yung RDS mo hindi mo alam baka sa umaga madami, sa hapon madami or anong oras ba yun, no? Kasi hindi naman lang when we do application systems, hindi mo masasabi anong oras din sila sasabay-sabay o hindi. So mas mura for us ang idaan sa DynamoDB. Ayun, dumami talaga yung tanong.
Yes, mapupunta, ano nga to? So eventually mapupunta sa DB rather than update agad from the DB. Well, sa DynamoDB kasi when you, let's say, sabi ko there are 3 events na item na matitrigger yung DynamoDB stream. So when you, tawag dito, update, insert, update, and delete. So makikita mo naman doon what event siya. So it's either update. And also we check naman based on the partition key. Gumawa kasi kami partition key doon para malaman namin siya to yung equivalent niya to RDS to our RDS. So pag nakita namin yun, automatically i-update namin yung data sa RDS. So, ganun.
Oo nga, dumami nga yung question.
Correct pa.
Yan. Isa pang question dito. I assume yung Lambda deployed with VPC. Can you share paano yung planning nyo sa network level for Lambda?
Well, I can answer you on that pa kasi it will yung nagma-manage niya kasi yung ano namin, yung infrastructure engineer. So, I can answer on that. Tapos, correct ba na save first the data from the form in Dynamo then eventually save it to yes. Save mo na siya to Dynamo. Mati-save siya to Dynamo DB, then mati-triggered yung Dynamo DB stream. So, papasok na yan. Pag triggered nga yung kasi nga yung 3 events na mati-trigger yung Dynamo DB stream. Once they insert, update, and delete. So, ganoon, malalaman mo yun doon. So, mapapasok mo siya sa Dynamo DB and mati-trigger si Dynamo DB stream. Then, magra-run nga yung Lambda function. So, pwede, any cases na gusto mong gawin, yun, pwede gawin mo doon. Either replicate or notify the user, ganyan, o ilalag mo siya sa CloudWatch. So, ganun siya nangyayari.
Okay, and then, meron pa? Sige, just let's hold on to, wow, daming questions. Okay. Sige, timeout lang muna si Sir Frank. And again, welcome to AWS User Groups Philippines. This is our June meetup. And thank you for being here. Mamaya po, sagutin po ni Sir Frank yung mga questions na nakalist po dito. Sige. Okay, maybe let's proceed to the program, and Frank will just be answering yung mga questions nyo by typing na lang yung answers in the Q&A box. And let me share my screen. Okay. And so before we proceed with the game, we'll just have some few reminders or few announcements just in case yung iba nag-join ng late or hindi naabotin yung mga announcements in the early in the meetup. So again, we would like to invite you if you want to contribute sa ating AWS community blog. Just feel free to reach out to us. Yung session ni Jaira earlier is in this AWS community blog. So yun, if you want to share anything, just reach out to us so that we can make you a contributor to the AWS community blog. And we also have for the ladies, AWS She Builds Day. So if you're interested to join this, you can go to the link that is displayed, and it's just to inspire and empower women to transform the tech industry. So maraming demos, live Q&As, engaging panels, like career session, technical deep dives dito sa ano to. So if you're here and you're interested to join the AWS She Builds Day, please register to this link. And of course, we also have the AWS Builders online series. So this coming July 8, 2021, if you're interested because AWS Builders online series is designed to enable especially you wants to learn AWS with core concepts, architectural best practices, and some demos like what we had earlier in our meetup. And also, again, reminder, if you want to join us with the free community-provided July AWS Solutions Architect Associate Tutor Group, so please just visit the FB group announcement. And this session will really help you with your preparation, especially if you're planning to take the AWS SAA exam. And we also have free certifications. Yan. So if you're interested, or if you have plans before September 15 to take any level of exam from associate, professional, specialty. Yan, just fill up lang po. Just provide an official practice exam. If you already passed previous exams, you can avail of the free practice exam. But if not, you can purchase it sa AWS training, and just submit your 80% plus and an essay or a short paragraph on how would this certification sponsorship will benefit your company or the community. And also AWS user group swags or store merchandise. Yan. So just visit store.awsug.ph if you're interested to grab some swags. And we also, yan. So thank you again for joining us this evening. And I believe, um, yan, some of the questions are now being answered. Yep, that's the last slide in my deck. And again, thank you for engaging with us. Let me call on Sir Rafi for the game proper. So here you can win AWS credits, right, Sir Rafi? So take it away,
Oh,
Sir
hello.
Rafi.
And hello, everyone. So yes, thank you for all our speakers now. And yeah, while they're answering some of the questions, and I'm also answering some of the questions. Um, yeah, so thank you again to all our speakers. And again, if you want to contact them, feel free to do so. They're also in the Facebook group as well, no? So you can definitely message them as well. And maybe, after our game, so our game right now is we'll just do a lot of true and false. And let me now share my screen. So feel free to stay. And I understand it's already almost 9. So if you need to leave, that's also okay. No, let me share. We don't have a sponsor this month, so our prizes will be AWS credits. Right. And then I'll just go back to the Q&A later once everyone's there. So are you able to see the link or hindi kita yung link?
Yes, Sir Rafi, kita po. slides.com/4v8bfs.
All right. Sige. So now I see 2 people joining in, 3 people. Right. So most of the questions are about systems manager, about Lambda, about DynamoDB. Since those are our 3 major services that we talked about today. Although may mga 1 or 2 din na hindi part ng topics na yun. So currently I have 15 individuals right now. Okay, so I'll just give it maybe 1 more minute, no? While Chart and Jambi, please help tala answer sa Q&A din over the chat. I think may nagtanong kanina is sagutin ko lang din ano ba yung mga tanong kanina. Kung ipo-purge ba yung, so that means if yung data nasa DynamoDB tapos eventually lilipat din sa isang RDS, anong gagawin sa data mo dun sa DynamoDB? So, ipo-purge mo ba yan o hindi? I would say it really is up to the application, no? So example, you have an application, like you have a microservice, right? That microservice, hindi naman niya kailangan kausapin yung RDS. No? So in that sense, you can have that microservice, naka-standalone lang siya, no? But eventually, later on, yung data niya, mapapasa din sa main database for other applications. That can be one way full microservice ka talaga kasi yung sariling service mo, merong data store on its own. Alright, so we'll proceed na now. Medyo madami-dami na rin. May 20 individuals na sumasali. 24 pala. Parang hindi nakiklik Wait lang, balik ko tayo. Hide ko lang. Stop presenting. Switch to window. Hide QR code. Ayun pala. Alright, so siguro first is we just need your email address if you want to qualify for the credits. Yun nga, just because how will we send the credits na if you don't get your email address? So I'm assuming na i-click naman or na sasagot ng ano. Okay, thank you. So let's proceed na. So at this point, I guess ito na yung ano, mga players, yung mga pangalan nyo, mga nicknames nyo. And so we have 26 people that are logged in, pero we're still at 14 players. I don't know if nakakapili ng icon, no? Since ako lagi yung host.
Yes, Sir Rafi, pwede palitan yung avatar.
Pwede palitan yung avatar. Okay, may significant number o 21. May humabol pa? Alright, 22, 23. Okay, I think pwede na tayo mag-start kasi from 22 at 23 bumaba. So let's start. Question number 1. Question number 1. True or false, there are still data centers within AWS. However, customers cannot visit it. No, are there data centers? May computer pa rin ba? Or lahat nasa hangin na? All right. So the answer here is true. No? So there are still data centers. You, as customers, we're not allowed to visit it. So meron pa rin data centers. No? Sa dalawang false, you cannot visit it talaga. Right, next. So yung ranking natin, si Let's Go, ang bilis. And siya yung pinakamabilis so far. Question number 2. Okay. True or false, edge locations are still part of the closest region to it. Okay. Are edge locations still part of the closest region? Is it trolls, true or false? Alright, so ang answer dito is false, guys. So we do have what we call a regional edge location, but not all edge locations are part of a region. No? So they are independent. For example, yung Philippines, hindi yan part ng Singapore region. They're outside. No? So the answer here is false. Okay, so medyo tumaas na si Acidman, followed by TJ, Jean, RV, Let's Go, and Art. Okay, question number 3. True or false, you can run Docker containers in Lambda and Lightsail. Is that true? Is that false? So yung ginawa ni Miss Jaira kanina, kung gusto mo i-Dockerize yun, pwede ba sa Lambda? And ano tong Lightsail, no? Pwede ba ito sa Lightsail din? Docker containers. Okay, so the answer here is true. No? So recent lang to, again, not that recent. Yung reInvent last year, pwede na mag-run ng Docker on your Lambda and Lightsail. So pwede na. So actually now you can run Docker on ECS, right? ECS anywhere pa nga. So pwede on-premise. EKS, you have Beanstalk. Beanstalk has always been container doon. And now we have Lambda and Lightsail. Right? So very interesting yung story bakit nag-support si Lambda ng Docker. Alright, tingnan natin. So si TJ yung mataas yung score at the moment. Question number 4. Okay. True or false? AWS Lambda supports PHP natively. So itong PHP, Philippine, hindi, anong nga ba ibig sabihin ng PHP? Hindi ko nga maalala. Pero itong programming language na PHP, no? PHP programming language, hindi Philippines na. Does it support the programming language PHP natively? Good. So the answer here is false. No? So hindi pa siya supported. What you need to do if gusto mo ng PHP on your Lambda, you'll have to make a Lambda layer. So yung parang ginawa ni Ms. Jaira kanina, naglagay siya ng Lambda layer, no? Like yung Selenium or Chrome driver para mag-add ng layer support ng other features and functions. Alright, nagkamali si TJ doon, no? +0 siya, kaya naunahan siya ni Let's Go. No score? Okay, if ever guys, may topics ba kayong gustong i-discuss in the future? N, the topic N. ML Ops, Machine Learning Ops. Ay, magandang topic yun. CDK, Git Ops. Pwede. SAM, Serverless Architecture Model, IoT, Cloud Formation, Database Migration, EKS, Best Practice. Yan. Yung SAM, dalawa. Testing, QA, not QA. Fargate, serverless na container yan. Lexa or Lex siguro to or Alexa. Right, thank you for that. No, we're always collating this so that we can find speakers for that. And if ever kayo mismo pwede kayo mag-speak on this, please do reach out to myself, Char, Jambi, and the rest of the leadership team. Question number 5. Here we go. You cannot SSH into Lambda functions. Pwede ba mag-SSH into the Lambda function? Usually, kinakabahan ako if tama yung nilagay kung pag nag-create ka ng quiz, tapos mali ba yung set ko. Right? So this is true. You cannot SSH into the Lambda function. Because again, since this is a function as a service, hindi sa'yo nabibigay yung server. So hindi ka makaka-SSH. Hindi mo nga alam hindi mo alam kung Windows server yan, naka-Linux ba yan, naka-Mac ba yan, no? So hindi natin alam actually. As long as tumatakbo lang siya.
Sige.
Alright, sige daw. Okay. Let's continue. Alright, ito yung top 5 natin and then 6. Ano palang top natin bibigay? Siguro kasi wala tayong sponsor ngayon, up to top 10. Bigyan natin lahat ng top 10, up to top 10. Maganda yun, sige, bibigyan up to top 10, guys. Okay. And then if let's say hindi nagbigay ng email ng any of these, that means pati yung next top 10 na nagbigay ng email. No? So you never know, baka makakuha kayo ng AWS credits. Right, question 6. Okay, DynamoDB supports both ACID and base. Hindi ito na-discuss kanina, pero ano kaya ACID and base? No? So sa mga developers dyan na alam ibig sabihin ng ACID and base, consistency, eventual consistency. Does DynamoDB support both ACID and base? Right, so the answer here is true. So a very unique feature ni DynamoDB is meron siyang tinatawag na DynamoDB transactions. right? So pwede siya mag-set ng ACID and then mag-roll back if may nag-fail. No? So very unique feature yan in DynamoDB. All right, may mga humabol. Next. Question 7 out of 10. DynamoDB supports relational database services that is scalable, fast, and flexible. Oh, bilis everyone. The answer here is of course false. No, it's a NoSQL, so non-relational database. Yung DynamoDB. Kahit kaya niya mag-ACID, hindi pa rin siya relational. Right? Question 8 out of 10. AWS Systems Manager does not support on-premise servers. Okay, so this is a question. EC2 lang ba siya? So the answer here is false. So AWS Systems Manager actually does support on-premise. No? So you'll have to install the agent, okay, into your on-premise, and then syempre may configuration then about yung network itself. But yes, it does support on-premise servers. Right. Question number 9. Ito na, question number 9. Lambda needs S3 to store permanent files since it cannot use EFS. So Lambda, alam natin, di ba? Lambda, function as a service. Nasaan yung persistent storage niya? So does it need S3 para dun sa persistent storage niya? Mabilis. So the answer here is false. So you can actually mount an elastic file system or EFS into Lambda. Right? And so you can use that as your permanent storage if you want to. Right? So that's one place na you can use to store permanent storage. Or let's say na nakukontian kayo sa temp directory ng Lambda, then you can use the EFS. Okay, question. Did the meetup help you with new learnings or knowledge? Yes, no, no comment. 9, 8, 7, 6. Ako, kahit ako, may new pa rin ako natutunan actually always sa lawak ng AWS. In fact, napapaisip na ako, dapat ba ang devs gumawa na lang ng sariling API for testing their own, instead na unit test, parang happy path test na lang using yung ni Miss Jaira, no? Yung demo ni Miss Jaira. Ikaw na mag-test niyan, parang gano'n. Kahit happy path lang, di ba? Ewan ko lang kung narinig pa ako ni Frank, no? Pero Frank, pag-isipan mo rin yun, kung dapat ang devs na rin yung gagawa ng happy path na test. Alright. Next tayo. Okay, overall, how was the time of the event, platform, and presentation format for you? As in very good, good, fair, no comment. Yun, may nag-no comment. One, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, thank you. And last question. So hindi na ito pabilisan. Pero makhabol. AWS Systems Manager has no direct cost. libre ba ang AWS Systems Manager? Ito, na-discuss to, nasabi to ng speaker natin, no? Libre ba ang AWS Systems Manager? Or magbabayad ka ba para gamitin ang AWS Systems Manager? Isip-isip lang. 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Yan. So, libre lang gumamit ng AWS Systems Manager. No? So, it's yung itatakbo lang niya. Kung kunwari may pinaspin up ka ng resources, then syempre, yung resources lang yung babayaran mo. Pero yung actual Systems Manager itself, pag-create ng document, ganyan, walang bayad yun. So yeah, libre ang AWS Systems Manager. Right, so here's our tally. Congratulations to TJ. Let's go, Jay, R2, LeBron James, and Francis. Again, kung nandun yung email nyo, and that means kasali kayo doon. Rosel, Acidman, Art, and J1. And just in case may iba dyan nag-skip or magpapass sa price nila, then may pwede pang si Rick, J and LC, Pula, akala ko Paula, Pula pala, Pula, and Jean, and RV, and the rest, no, can still get it. All right, thank you again, everyone, for your time for this Thursday, and for always being with us half of the year na, no? It has been half of the year, and we've always been consistently strong, and we always have speakers. Thank you to all our speakers, no? And again, I encourage everyone just to share your knowledge and share your experience. This is a good platform for you to grow. Walang dito, no judgment. No judgment here. Safe space. Okay, and again, ang price natin dito is yung AWS credits, no? It's $25 each. $25 AWS credits. Thank you so much. And that actually ends our mag-stop share na ako.
Yes, thank you. Thank you everyone who joined us tonight. Thank you, Sir Rafi, for that fun game and a lot of learnings, more than the speakers, pati yung mga games, marami ka talagang matutunan. Thank you for that. And again, thank you to Earljon, to Jaira, and to Frank for gracing us as our speakers for this evening. And thanks everyone who stayed at this time in the night. Thank you everyone.
Thank you. Check ko lang itong Q&A kung meron pa ba. Or may naiwan natin.
Yeah, may isa pang question dito na specific for maybe Sir Rafi, you can answer.
Right. Unahin muna natin yung recording of past meetups. Yes. So punta lang kayo sa ngayon ang holder ng meetups natin since 2021. Since 2021 lang tayo nag-record actually. Ay nasa YouTube channel ni ko, nasa Young CTO, no. So punta lang kayo Young CTO YouTube channel. And doon natin makikita yung recordings. This recording ngayon, makikita nyo siguro to by tomorrow or by Monday. No? Again, we encourage kasi people to watch live. So that's why medyo may delay before ma-upload. Right. And then the other question is, for the request for the Lambda, how many concurrent requests did you have with your use case? Good question to. Tingnan ko nga if nandito yung feeling ko itong taong to. Itong si TJ, yung kanina din, TJ, ikaw ba yung TJ ng edukasyon? Check natin, inallow natin to speak. TJ, ikaw ba si TJ ng edukasyon o hindi?
Ako po.
Oo, yun. So TJ ng edukasyon, baka pwede mo sagutin to, no? How many Lambda concurrent requests did you have? Napansinan mo ba? Kano kadami Lambda concurrent requests?
Okay. For this one kasi, wala akong main idea. Pero kasi sa pagkakaalala ko, nag-set na kami ng reserve concurrency for our lambdas. Hindi lang ako sure doon sa exact number kasi sila Frank yung naghahawak ng lambda na. Pero, ayun, alam ko may sinet na reserve concurrency.
It's naalala ko din, no? What we did here is nag-set ng minimum reserve concurrency para ma-avoid yung cold start, right? So at least may naiiwan based on our prediction. And also from previous, experience lang. And then also tinaasan namin yung concurrency limit. No? So nag-request na lang kami ng mataas na concurrency limit, soft limit. Anyway, hindi naman babayaran yan kung hindi ma-trigger. So isang option din yun, no? Na i-increase na lang ahead of time. Nag-throttle ba yung request? I think we have to deep dive into if nag-throttle o hindi, no? Just make sure lang talaga dito, naman if gumamit tayo ng API gateway and paired with Lambda, meron tayong mga things like exponential backoff, retries. So, may mga layers din tayo na no? And then, of course, meron tayong caching to make sure yung anything na kung same lang naman yung request, di ba? Or anything na very generic, let's say getting the list of schools, di ba? Pwede na yan, pwede na i-cache yan. So yung queuing namin mostly nandun sa pag-write sa DynamoDB, yung stream na yan, di ba? Napansin natin na DynamoDB, tapos yung stream, pag nag-fail yung stream na yan, may notification, and then yung notification na yun, pwede i-retry. So because yung stream itself, may identifier yun, so i-rerun lang yung stream again para tumakbo ulit yung gusto namin yung failed na Lambda execution of that particular stream. So meron na yung fallback mechanism na ginawa
Okay
natin.
lang ba? Okay lang ba mag-add din ako ng something?
Of course.
Regarding dun sa throttling ng DynamoDB, bale, ang cover ko yung sa DynamoDB side. Bale, hindi siya naka-on-demand kasi parang may nakita ako nagtanong kung naka-on-demand siya or provision. Bale, naka-provision siya. And kasi yun nga, yung workload nung sa asset, may times na mataas yung usage ng table. And merong mga times na mababa, or may mga season na mababa yung usage ng table. So most likely, yan, yung provision capacity, ina-adjust na lang namin accordingly sa usage. So kung na-anticipate namin na magiging mataas yung usage for a certain months, ayan, saka lang namin siya itataas. Then, pag bumababa na yung niya, or basing from the metrics, bumababa naman yung capacity, yung mga write and read capacity niya. Yan, binababaan na rin namin din sa provision capacity. So, yun yung ginagawa namin sa DynamoDB.
Right. Again, either auto scale or on demand, it's really about pricing. Nandun na yung, for me, nagdi-differ. Mas mahal kasi yung on demand, no? Pero kaya niya yung sudden spikes. Pero kung yun nga, sabi ni TJ is if predicted naman, then okay lang yung auto scaling na provision IOPS for DynamoDB. Mahal ang on-demand. Mahal nga ang on-demand. Pero at least, sure ka. Diba? Yun yung yeah. Alright. I think nag-extend yung discussion, pero that's it. Thank you so much, no? Pero if meron pa kayong questions, nandito lang daw kami. Nandito pa yung isang speaker natin, si Miss Jaira, no? So if ever may tanong pa kayo about sa about sa QA or automate ng mga QA stuff, pwede rin. Right? No, I think very powerful talaga yung dinemo niya, yung QA, automated. Ano? Tapos may ano ka na nga lang, may runner ka para ma-check mo lahat ng logs. Lahat ng mga lambda, 100 lambdas mo na QA. Okay.
100 lambdas.
100. All right. I think that's it. Thank you, everyone, again.
Thanks everyone. In behalf of the AWS User Group Philippine leaders, Sir Rafi, of course, Sir Ars, Jambi, and JL. We'd like to thank you again for joining us tonight. Thank you to Jaira ulit. Thank you, Jaira, for your great demo earlier. And
Thanks, everyone.
thank you.